Welcome back. Well, the flu continues to get worse across the United States. The Centers for Disease Control recently released new numbers, and 36 states reported widespread flu activity, up from 23 states just a few weeks before. 13 states reported regional activity, and doctors say it is still not too late to get your flu shot. And it's especially important that older adults get vaccinated as well. And joining us now to get more perspective on all of this and what we can do to protect ourselves and our family is Dr. Ali Kazrine. It is so good to see you. But before we get to all of that important information, I think a congratulations, sir, is in order.
Thank you very much.
A new addition to the family.
Yes, we're very, very happy to announce our new baby boy.
Already through medical school. He was just born over the holidays.
Ready to take call.
So tell us about Alec.
He is he was born December 26th, and both he and mom are doing well, and we are beyond excited. I'll tell you, it's amazing how nerve-wracking the whole process was for me. My wife handled it beautifully, but kind of knowing too much sometimes is a dangerous thing.
Right, being a doctor and getting too much into the weeds, but all is well. He was born healthy, beautiful baby boy.
I'll tell you it's amazing how cathartic. I haven't been this relaxed and happy as long as I can remember, and he's healthy and he's doing well. And it's amazing what the picture you saw with our dog is how relaxed and wonderful our dog kind of feels. He's been just so protective, and you know, if I take too long changing him, he gets mad and kind of starts hitting you. But I'll tell you, it's an absolute blessing, and you think you have the capacity to love, but
it's something else, isn't it? You just have no idea until you have that a little.
I'll tell you, I want to kind of thank my parents and for you know, all the things they've done through the years, because they have just the unconditional love my parents have shown us, my brother and I, to get us here, and the grandparents they're going to become is amazing. And to just understand that now, that you know, 1 week into all this is amazing. So you know, we owe them so much, but to kind of see it from this perspective is you don't understand it.
It really is something. Then you're calling up mom and dad, and you're like, thanks. I get it now.
I'm just amazed at things that they let us do, which is so important to shaping who we are, knowing all the trouble we could potentially, all the dangerous things that could potentially happen that are important for us to mature as human beings. Looking at how and trying to protect your baby while you're trying to make sure that they become individuals. Again, it's early, but it's amazing. I don't know, you know, it's just an amazing.
You'll make it. It'll be okay.
Amazing
it's an amazing journey. I'm only 1 month, 1 year and 1 month into it, and then this one, of course, is going to be a new.
So
but
it is
a blessing. It is such a cool thing.
It's the greatest thing in the world. I couldn't be happier.
And congratulations. He's just
Thank
gorgeous.
You.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the important topic of the day.
Segue.
Segue, but I'll tell you, every time you turn on the cable news broadcast, what have you, there's always another update coming up about the flu. And people know, by and large, this is the flu season. But this flu season seems like it's a lot different in years past. And why is this becoming such a big deal on television and with the CDC?
Well, I mean, one thing that we always talk about, and we seem to speak about in the media, or it comes up a lot, that people notice now that we are more tech savvy and everyone has access to things on the media. We have the internet.
Sure.
Is we talk about the flu vaccine, and then something comes up through the year about how effective the flu vaccine is. You know, usually somewhere between 40 to 60%. They talk about 40% effective. Last year was 42%, but it can be anywhere from 10% effective to 60%. What does that mean? They really assess how effective it is against treating the flu completely. One thing we have to kind of keep in mind is that when you get a flu vaccine, it actually not only treats you protects you from getting the flu, but also if you get the flu, you're not going to get as severe a flu. So basically what they do a couple times a year in the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, they assess the strains that they predict may affect next year's populations. And they create vaccines for those strains. And those strains can mutate, they could change, different strains can affect things, and if that happens, then we get in a situation where people can get viruses that cause infections that the vaccine cannot treat. However, your body is still going to potentially have less of less severe of an infection and be less likely to get complications.
So the efficacy rate is really, some people think, or it is being calculated as preventing it entirely, but mitigating the symptoms that we have with it is also
right, but that's not calculated. So it's important to think about that.
What about about people who say, if I get the flu shot, I'm going to get the flu? That's why I don't get the flu shot, because I don't want to get sick.
Great question. So with this, if you do get a flu vaccine, you're basically getting an introduction to a deactivated form of it so that your body has a recognition of the virus, so that if you do get an actual infection, your immune system recognizes it and can quickly mount a response so you don't get a full-blown infection and get as either sick or potentially get the complications like pneumonias or even death from a very, very severe infection. The other thing to keep in mind with a vaccination versus disease process, the concept of herd immunity. So the more of us who are vaccinated, the more people in our community we protect, especially the people at high risk, people who can get vaccinated, children younger than 6 months, and elderly people who have immune compromise who may not do as well even if they're vaccinated, people with other medical issues, people with compromised immune system, cancer patients, people with HIV, people with other diseases that affect their immune system, people in nursing homes. So the more of us who are vaccinated, the more people within our community we protect and less people get severe infections. So that becomes even more important when the vaccine doesn't do as well in our community. So get vaccinated. It really does help not only to prevent infections, but also have less severe of an infection, especially in a time when it doesn't become quite as effective.
And I talk to you, I'm going to go get my vaccine.
Absolutely.
I'm pregnant, and that goes to the theory of vaccines in its entirety.
Absolutely. Pregnant and 2 weeks postpartum, you should get a vaccine.
Good deal. Dr. Kezeran, congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you
again on
very
the
much.
baby, and thanks for being here with your perspective. For more information on Dr. Kezeran, you can head to his website, which is KezeranUrology.com. You can listen to him live and call into his radio show, which is called The Conversation. It is on WOKV. It airs every Saturday starting at 5 p.m.